Oh, welcome back, Webelos Scouts, for Activity 1, Building a Better World. Hemp Hill, Camino Real, Blanca Vista Elementary, and all others are welcome.
For more fun activities at home, visit our YouTube channel, Sacred Springs Scout Reach. Please join me in the Scout Oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Please join me in the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
A Scout is trustworthy. A Scout tells the truth. He is honest and he keeps his promises. People can depend on him. A Scout is trustworthy.
Show the Cub Scout sign. Tell what it means. Make the sign with your right hand. Hold your arm straight up. The two raised fingers stand for the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. The fingers look like the sharp ears of the wolf, ready to listen to a Kayla. Remember that a Kayla means good leader to a Cub Scout. Your mother or father or guardian is a Kayla. So is your Cub Master or your den leader. At school, your teacher is a Kayla.
Say the Cub Scout motto. Tell what it means. The Cub Scout motto is do your best. A motto is a guiding principle and a rule for living. Do your best means trying your hardest, not just a little bit. Do your best all the time. Do your best in school and at home. Do your best when you play a game and help your team. Do your best as you work on your rank adventures.
Requirement 2. Learn about and describe your rights and duties as a citizen, and explain what it means to be loyal to your country. As a Webelos Scout, you are not old enough to vote or serve in the military or run for political office, but you still have duties as a citizen of the United States. In the Scout Oath, you promise to do your duty to your country. One way to do that is by obeying the law. Some people are citizens of other countries, but live in our country. You may know somebody like that. People who are not American citizens have some of the same duties and basic rights as citizens. However, there are things they can't do, like vote and run for president. Here are some things you and your family should do. Obey laws, respect the rights and property of others, help the police, take care of the environment by recycling and conserving natural resources, keep informed about what is going on around you, help change the things that are not good. When you are an adult, you should also vote, pay taxes, and serve on a jury when asked to do so. As a citizen, you also have many rights as defined by the United States Constitution and other governing documents. Here are some specific things you and your family can do. Worship how and where you like, say what you think, join other people in peaceful assemblies, petition the government if you think it is doing something wrong, own property and choose where to live, get a public school education through 12th grade, have a trial by jury if you are accused of a crime, vote age 18 or older. We are lucky to have many freedoms in the United States, but always remember that those freedoms come with responsibility. As President John Kennedy said, you should ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Being loyal. All Scouts promise to be loyal. That's the second point of the Scout Law. You are loyal when you obey the laws of our country, your state, and your community. You are loyal when you try to make your community a better place to live.
You are loyal when you stay informed about how government works. You are loyal when you support those who work to keep our country safe. My Scoutmaster says Martin Luther King Jr. is a good example of somebody who was loyal to his country by pointing out what it was doing wrong. He used some of his rights, including freedom of speech and freedom of assembly, to fight against laws that were unfair to African Americans. You are also loyal when you try to get things fixed that are wrong. If you think a law is unfair, you should obey it, but you should also work to get it changed. My country, right or wrong, if right, to be kept right, and if wrong, to be set right. U.S. Senator Carl Schurz.
The Constitution of the United States of America by the RBE Library. The Constitution is a document written by a group of men known as the Framers in 1787. Yes, it is over 200 years old. From May to September of 1787, the Framers met in Philadelphia at Independence Hall and discussed what should be in the Constitution. The United States was a brand new country at the time and had a government that many felt was not as good as it could be. They were meeting to come up with a new way of running the country. Some of the people at this meeting, called the Constitutional Convention, are famous to us today, including James Madison, Benjamin Franklin, and George Washington, our first president. The men came from all over the country, which at the time was made up of only 13 states. The different states had different ideas of what the new government should do, and they had many debates and discussions to come up with a plan that everyone could agree with. It is said that the Constitution was born in compromise, because only by compromising could all the disagreements be resolved. Benjamin Franklin said that he was not sure if the plan was perfect, but that it was probably as perfect as it could be. After the Constitutional Convention ended, the Constitution had to be approved by the 13 states. The Constitution actually said that only 9 states had to agree to the Constitution, but everyone wanted all the states to agree. 2 states, North Carolina and Rhode Island, took a long time to decide to agree to the Constitution, but in the end, they did. When the Constitution was accepted by these first 9 states, we say that it was ratified. One of the biggest reasons a lot of people opposed the original Constitution was because it lacked a Bill of Rights. A Bill of Rights is a list of rights that belong to the people that the government is not allowed to break. Some of these rights may sound familiar: the right to free speech, the right to practice your own religion, and the right to be silent if the police accuse you of a crime. The original Constitution had no Bill of Rights. Many of the framers did not think it was necessary, but to get the Constitution to pass in some of the states, promises were made to add a Bill of Rights once the new government was up and running. When the Constitution was written, the framers knew their creation was not perfect. They knew that other people would have good ideas for the Constitution and that future generations would want to make changes. They wanted to make it possible to change the Constitution without needing to resort to revolution. They wanted to be sure that it wasn't too hard to make changes, but they also wanted to be sure that it wasn't too easy. The framers added an amendment process. An amendment to the Constitution is a change that can add to the Constitution or change an older part of it. After the new government started to meet, Congress proposed the Bill of Rights, and in 1791, the changes were accepted by enough of the states that they were added to the Constitution, and these 10 changes are called the Bill of Rights. The Constitution is the highest law in the United States. All other laws come from the Constitution in some way. The Constitution also provides the framework for the government of the United States. It created things like the presidency, the Congress, and the Supreme Court. Each state has its own constitution that is the highest law for the state, but even then, the United States Constitution is higher.
The Constitution of the United States. According to the United States Senate, the Constitution's first 3 words, "We, the people," affirm that the government of the United States exists to serve its citizens. For over
2 centuries, the Constitution has remained in force because its framers wisely separated and balanced governmental powers to safeguard the interests of majority rule and minority rights of liberty and equality of the federal and state governments. Our Constitution is recognized as the oldest written, signed, and approved national constitution still in use and is a model for other countries' constitutions.
Requirement 3. Discuss in your Webelos den and family the term rule of law and talk about how it applies to you in your everyday life. Have you ever watched a TV show or movie where a king made up laws on the spot or threw people in jail because he felt like it? A few countries still operate like that, but most operate under what is called the rule of law. The rule of law means that laws apply to everyone, both government officials and private citizens. Laws are clear and fair and evenly applied. Laws respect basic rights like people's security. The way laws are created is open and fair. Talk with your den or family about how that idea affects you. How does following the Scout Oath and Scout Law serve as a rule of law to help us work together in Scouting?
Hi guys, today we're going to do a homemade game, and it's a ring toss that you can do with items that you already have at home. So this is what we're making, and the idea is going to be that you can throw it over a bottle, okay? So you're going to need some water bottles, masking tape or Scotch tape, either one. You don't need both. And it helps if you get your pieces of tape and have them ready because you're going to need them later. So we'll tear a few pieces. All right. 2 pieces of newspaper, and it's nice if you have comics or something like that, but it doesn't have to be. Anything will work, and we're going to get it from corner to corner. So take your corner and roll it, and hang on to it. Okay, once you get to the corner, that's where your first piece of tape is going to go. Okay, and then just kind of tape it. Wherever you think it needs tape. Then we're going to crunch it, and we're going to make it round. You can make it as big as you want or as little as you want. But somewhere in between is probably good that you can get it over the water bottle. And now you might need help getting the tape around this part so that it stays together. You can use as much tape as you want to make it strong. So there's our ring. And then the idea is to put these on the floor, and you're gonna get the ring over the bottle, okay? 2 points if it goes over the bottle, and 1 point if it touches the bottle. And you play this game with brothers, sisters, friends, family, and whoever gets the most points wins.
Join us next time for Activity 2, Good Sportsmanship. If you are interested in joining a pack near you, visit beascout.scouting.org.